Sounds good, Jim. Thank you. It's 6:42 right now, and over the last 12 months, we've all made a lot of changes and adjustments, but it's starting to look like there could be a light at the end of this long tunnel. Many doctors believe things could be closer to normal by the end of this winter, So it's time to brush up on some things we may have put on the back burner in the last year or so. Mental toughness coach Eric Rittmeyer joins us now. He's got some ways we can do that. Eric, first, good morning. We do have to apologize. Scott Jones isn't here this morning to chat with you. I'm going to be texting him shortly, so I'll tell him you said hi.
I got to talk to him about his comedy picks, too. I got a beef to pick with him.
Okay, me too, and that's why I'm going to be texting him. So we will chat, and I can get those messages to him. Hey, let's start with interpersonal skills. As we look ahead, you say emotional intelligence is the answer here. There are some simple things people can do to rebuild those relationships. So let's start with maybe keeping it a bit light.
Yeah, we're this outrage culture, Jessica. Everybody's so upset for no reason. Have you noticed this? Like, nobody's happy anymore. Let's just get back to being goofy and being silly, telling jokes. Just lead with love, lead with a smile. A smile is a universal language. We can all understand it. If we just approach every situation, every conversation with a smile and with some goofy humor, it starts off on the right foot.
I like that. And, you know, sometimes that's hard to do in the mask. So I always try to say something nice so they know that, hey, I'm smiling behind the mask.
Right.
Let's talk about having a great sense of humor. Well, we talked about having a great sense of humor. Let's move on to the listening category, because you sent a couple of really good ideas that are important with that really we may have lost here since, you know, March of 2020.
Yeah, we have to get a lot better at listening. The issue is we listen with the intent to reply, not with the intent to understand. And one great way we can show people we're listening is to remember their names and to use their names. Our name is the most beautiful word in our language, right? We love to hear it. When we hear that word, it's like, oh, it feels so good. Use a name whenever you can possibly use it, but you have to remember, that's difficult for me. I have to use rhymes. I use, like, you know, if your name's George, in my mind, I'm saying, George, George, George of the jungle, to remember. It's hard to do. I'm not good at that. But if you get good at remembering names, it'll really connect with people. You know what?
That is so true. Having some way to remember, because you walk away and you go, oh, man, I wasn't paying any attention. Let's talk about don't get distracted in conversation to give the person you're talking to your focus.
Yeah, this is when we're communicating with people, we want to give them undivided attention, just eye-to-eye contact, let them finish their statements, don't interrupt. Cell phones are a major problem here, Jessica, and the funny thing about cell phones is we've all been here, right? You sit down with somebody at the table and they put their phone down face up. They're like, oh, let me put this on vibrate. And the whole time they're like,
Right.
It's like, oh, gee, thanks for putting it on vibrate, right? Turn it off, put it away. If you want to get somebody's attention, if you want to connect with somebody, take that phone that's the most important thing in the world to everyone, turn it off, put it away somewhere. You have that person's undivided attention at that point.
And you're right, you can't have that eye contact when you're constantly looking down at your phone. Let's get to the emotional side of things with the words we use, the emotion here.
Yeah, we have to figure out, and I refer to as a feelings vocabulary. The problem is we don't get training on emotional intelligence. We go through school, we memorize, regurgitate. We don't understand emotions. We don't know how to control our emotions. We don't know how to be aware, how to perceive, express, and respond to emotion. So it's critically important to understand that 100% of the feelings we have are okay. It's how we respond to those feelings. When we expand our vocabulary, we're able to deeper connect with people by using words that are, you know, instead of saying, I'm mad or I'm angry, it could be I'm frustrated because, or I'm upset because of this. It's getting deeper with our emotions. Guys have to get a lot better at this. Guys are horrible at this.
And again, another thing that's hard to do in the mask. So thanks for joining us this morning to talk us through it, Eric Rittmeyer. We are also going to talk to you. Yeah, we're talking to you again tomorrow morning. So we'll get with Scott about those comedy picks and see how we go from there. We'll have lots of words for him. Eric, thank you.
Have a great day.
All right, Daniel, over to you.
Great segment there. Well, still ahead this morning, working from home doesn't necessarily